YouTube, Mr.Dirty8449 here, and it's now time for my next update. Yeah, I've done absolutely loads of work since the previous update, and yeah, I think it's gone quite well. It's looking quite good. So we're looking at the moment at the main bit of the layout. The bit that's it's mostly seen. I've got lots of scenery right now. I haven't done any more to the platforms. Basically, I've run out of the fencing you can see in the back on the rear platform, so I've got to buy a bit more of that. There's a few other bits and bobs I've got to do as well. I'm hopefully going to start going on this fencing again and get that finished off. I need to do about, how long is that? About 18 inches of it, sort of 45 centimetres or so, so quite a bit of work there, especially it's really fiddly work. But anyway, yeah, I haven't really done anything like that. That's just sort of what's happening. But what I've actually done most work is on the right, which is the hill you saw in the previous update. So yeah, I've done absolutely loads of work on this. Let's start off at the back actually. When you previously saw this, that was just still white paper mache. I've now done quite a lot of work to it, as you can see. I've made it look like it does on the front with the same style of rock sort of face with lots of short grass going around it. There's a lot more detail to add, sort of grass tufts, bushes, a bit of longer grass every now and then, different shades and things like that. But that will all come at a later date. I've tried to design it so it looks quite sort of natural, how the grass is sort of grows down the slightly shallower bits of the hill, and on the steeper bits the rain has sort of scraped all the way over time. So yeah, I think it looks quite good. Coming down towards the front, obviously that's exactly how it was before, except from I've done quite a lot of work on the right hand side, as you can see. Now I've taken quite a few photos of this just so you can see it a lot more clearly, so I'll stick those on after I've done this bit of the video, but I'll just quickly explain basically what's happened there. Well, it's quite obvious really. I'll start off with the tunnel. I've added a tunnel entrance, as you can see, which is this piece just here. I believe you saw that before. If you didn't, it's made out of just layers of cardboard stuck together. I first of all stuck two pieces together, and then I started designing shapes and stuff into it. So there's actually like a 3D effect to it, different depths of the brickwork and so on. And I've stuck brick card onto it. I've given it lots of overgrowing sort of branches and trees from the bushes behind it, as you can see. There's lots of colour in the bushes, lots of oranges and yellows and different shades of greens. I think there's a bit of like a purpley brown colour in there. I've used quite a lot of my scatter sort of material on the top of that, and I think it looks really good. Now moving down towards the camera slightly, you can see there's a black fence running along. The idea of that is, well, the basic idea is everything on this side here is just wild, it's just left alone. Everything on this side of that fence is going to be a field or a paddock, whatever you want to call it, which is going to be for sheep or goats. The reason for that is sheep and goats are the sort of animals that don't need lush grass like cows do. They need lush grass, so they can obviously produce better milk and all that sort of farming stuff. You don't need to know about it. But anyway, so yeah, that's going to be where there's going to be sheep and things like that on that field. I think it looks really good. Now, something you can't see, but I've taken a photo of it, you'll see it in a minute, is on the other side of the hill, just there, on the track side of it. I've actually had quite a lot of detail to the rock face, you know, grass growing out of it and growing down it and so on, but I've taken a really good photo of it, so you can see that in a minute. I'll put it up as the first photo you see, make it nice and easy there. But yeah, I think it looks really good. Now, the grass that's closest to us, just here, is the same as it was. I'm going to be making some grass tufts. I've got an idea of how to make it. In fact, I think it's the very common way. So I'm going to do a quick tutorial on that, and I think it will, well, hopefully it will look quite good. So the next thing I've done is a bit of ballasting, a bit of grass and stuff like that to try and bring a bit of life to this particular area. I did a little bit on the corner here, just a final bit of ballasting in this track, and a little bit of static grass in the middle. It's quite rough looking, and I think it looks quite good. But anyway, this is what I really want to talk about with this piece down here. As you can see, I've now added static grass in between all the tracks, and as it gets towards the tunnel, it actually gets thinner and thinner and thinner until eventually here it's just basically just scatter at this end, and it's long thick grass at this end. And hopefully you can just about see the transition if I grab a light. There you go, you can just about see it's a lot thicker here and thinner there. And the reason for that is basically as it gets towards the tunnel, there's going to be less daylight, so the grass isn't able to grow as much, and I thought it would look a lot better like that rather than just having it thick all the way around. I went and brought some more of my Gauge Master ballast. I used GM114, which is the medium granite ballast. I think it looks really good. Really recommend that product. It just works really well. There's loads of colours in it, so it looks really realistic. Anyway, yeah, ballasted all the way around the corner. Both sides of the track I've added lots of grass, lots of greenery. I still need to run a hoover over that just to pick up the loose bits, but I can do that at a later date. As well as that, I've done this track here, added a bit of green to it, making it look a little more overgrown just on the outside edges, just along the edge there, and I think it looks really good. So this is the next thing I've done, which is quite a major change to the layout, is I've added a new baseboard. Now, this baseboard doesn't look anything like any of the previous baseboards. The main reason for that is I'm going to be building a nice river into it here. Although it's quite wide and straight at the moment, when it's done it's going to be a bit more twisty, and it's going to be a fast flowing river, maybe a few big boulders and things like that the water has to go around or over, and I might even build it as 2 levels and have a very slight waterfall here. By slight waterfall I mean like a bump, the water just falls over, so don't expect anything like, I don't know, 50-foot drop or anything like that. Hopefully it'll look quite good. I've been watching some people, and I think what I'm going to do is use the Woodland Scenics Quick Water or something it's called. It comes in a bottle and looks like PVA glue. Then you push it out on some, what did they use? Oh, greaseproof paper actually is what they used. And then from the greaseproof paper you just simply, well, yeah, scrape it off when it's all dry. So I've come up with good ideas there. So that's the sort of idea I've got for the scenery, just hills up on either side and grass and trees and bushes. It's going to be a lot more sort of overgrown as you get towards the river, which is quite understandable. I might sort of make paths where maybe a fisherman went down there to, you know, do whatever fishing he wants to, things like that. I might do a slight like lagoon area or something. I've got a little fishing guy in a boat somewhere, so I might use him here or maybe at a different stage in there. I haven't quite worked out yet. So that's the scenery idea I've got. Then obviously the track plan, as you can see, it looks quite strange to be honest, especially as there is a big crossover point section on the middle of a bridge. That isn't very common, to be completely honest with you. It took me a little while, but I did eventually find a couple of examples which would have been on British Railways. One in the GWR region, but most of them were up towards the Lake District, where there'd be a lot more bridges, which is a bit more understandable, sort of up to the north of the country. But I did find 1 or 2 examples that would have been in the sort of southwest region, which is what I'm working on. So I think it looks quite good. Now, the basic plan was to have this point up here originally, but for some reason the train, well, I know the reason, it's because there was a dead spot here, and there's obviously a dead spot on the other point, and bad luck, most of my trains have the wheels hit those 2 dead spots and die, which is really irritating, especially as all the wheels are clean and everything. But the way I found to get around that was just to add this nice long straight in here, and that sort of solves the problem quite easily. All of this has been wired up, it's all working 100%. I just need to add point motors. These are going to be the Pico PL11 above track or above baseboard point motors. Definitely for that one, because there's a wooden support underneath it, so I can't get the point motor underneath. Maybe for this one, I'm not too sure yet, but I will see and see how it looks. I'll actually show you the bridge which I've been building. I'm halfway through this. I'm not going to do, well, do people want a tutorial on how to build a bridge? This is one I'm building. It's nowhere near complete, absolutely nowhere near complete. It's just got the main structure. As you can see, I'm going for the very GWR style, very long arch on both sides, as you can see. One support in the middle, up to the edge. If I turn it upright, you can see what I mean by it's a weird bridge, because there's these extra bits here. And the basic idea is what I'm coming up is, this is the original bridge would have been down here, and then when they added the main line, they had to extend it, and that's when all this work at the top here happened. So it's going to be a different, well, no there isn't actually. So that's the sort of thing that's going to happen. As you can see, it's nice and sort of good edge. It's going to have stone paper card on it, and then I'm going to build it out 3D layers like I did on the tunnel entrance. Basically you just stick a layer of card on with brick on it, then another layer on top of that, and then you change the design every time and you eventually get shapes and stuff. I think it'll look quite good. I'll just turn it over so you can see on the underneath I've actually got the arch shapes in there. There's a little bit more work to do on the middle, The basic idea is the main structure of it, i.e. the base and the two ends, are made out of 4mm ply. Then these pieces in the middle are made out of thick card, and the same goes underneath. This is all made out of card. This needs no strength really, all the underside. So, okay, then I've just moved some locos onto the new board. As you can see, it's all working. This is a class 03, just pushing a small freight train. There we go. Yeah, it works really nicely. As you can see, it's a very nice transaction from one to the other. It's the exact same as the other one. This is my class 66XX GWR livery. Again, it's really nice and smooth. The reason why there's loads of pots and stuff in the middle of the track is so that the track doesn't bow down too much as the locos drive over it. Obviously, when the bridge is underneath, I won't have this problem. But yeah, as you can see, it's just really nice. It just works basically. So it's really good. All the track is wired up independently, as with all the other ones. They can all be separated, and yeah. That's really good. So yeah, I just wanted to finish by saying two things. I have come up with a name for my layout, which will, well, I like the name for it. I'm not going to tell you it. That'll be in the 350 subscriber special. I'm going to put my own question in. If anyone's interested, the question will be, what's your layout called? But anyway, sorry. The second thing I want to say is, yeah, obviously I've now got to 350 subscribers, which is brilliant news, so thank you for everybody who's clicked that subscribe button, all your comments and likes, really appreciate it. But I would like people to, if possible, give me some questions, because for my 350 special video I'm going to do another Q&A. I think the last time I did one was right back at 150 subscribers, I think. Yeah. I think it was right back at 100 or even 100 subscribers, so it was 200 odd subscribers ago. So hopefully there's a lot more people there. You've got a lot more questions if you'd like to ask me. So ask me anything if you want, and then if I use your question, I will more than happily just mention your name and say you said the question and so on. So yeah, you can get a little mention for your channel if you want that as well. So hopefully that video will be up either Friday, Saturday or Monday, but we'll have to see how that goes. It should be relatively quick and easy to make, and hopefully I'll catch you again soon.